Hey friends. So the thing that I'm going to talk about today is still working on all the things that I feel like I've been talking about. I think I'm actually like walking through this journey and I'm sharing it as I'm walking through it. And so it's kind of neat because like I said before, I really don't like it's hard to talk about things until I'm past it, until I'm through it. It's a lot harder to be honest and open about the things that I'm currently going through. But this is something that I don't want to share it. I'm actually kind of nervous, but I'm telling you, the Lord is like, this is what you're supposed to talk about. So I get to participate in a parenting class at Restoration Realm. And in our last class, one of the subjects that we talked about, and I learned a lot about, was objectifying. So we were asked two questions. Have you ever been objectified by, a partner, an employer, a parent, whatever it is? And then the second question was, have you ever objectified another person? And it was really neat getting to look at those two things and kind of think back and just think about that. So over the next couple days, that has been bouncing around in my head. The things that came to my mind, about my past, about my childhood with my parents or with old bosses or in relationships or how I've treated my kids at times. One thing that crossed my mind, the Lord revealed this to me, was that we don't have to perform, right? The thought came to me and it went through my mind. You don't have to perform, right? So when I think about the best way that I can explain this is it's literally having to perform, right? When we're performing, we're completely out of self. I'm not being true to self. I am trying purposely to get somebody to agree with me, to get somebody to like me, to get somebody to want to be my friend, whatever that looks like. And so this has just been bouncing around in my head. And I've really kind of been going through it. And I think that this is part of the solution for me, because now all I keep thinking is, Christina, you don't have to perform. I've had Catherine and Katie are probably the only two people that I've ever been completely honest about the struggles that I face, like in relationship with men, and I have been honest with them, and they have about how I feel about things, and they have been painfully honest with me. About what they observe. One of the things that they've always said to me is like, Christina, you always act so weird. Like whatever guy you date, you always act so weird when they're around. You don't act like yourself. And I never understood it, but I'm telling you, it's because somehow, I'm assuming sometime in my childhood, I must have had to try really, really hard to get someone's attention, right? Probably my parents, they divorced. It's no fault of theirs. That's just how it was. And I probably had to try really, really hard. I had to perform to try to get that attention. And that is where my head has been. And I haven't known it, right? That I have to perform, that I have to try to be the smartest or the best or the prettiest or the coolest or whatever it is. And telling myself just the last couple of days, like I literally just got this information within the last 4 days, 3 days. And I have just been constantly telling myself, Christina, you don't have to perform. You don't, and it was of no fault of anybody else's. This is me. This is something that I carried with me that I was. So it's pretty embarrassing to share that because it makes me vulnerable. It makes me vulnerable. And I'm not all the way through it yet, So I think it's not an open wound. We're not going to call it that, but it's still in the process, and it's hard to talk about things when they're still in the process. So the only encouragement that I have for you guys today is to be honest, and expose yourself. If we can expose ourselves to information, like what she wasn't teaching in class that I don't need to perform. She was teaching about being objectified and objectifying others, and I was able to get something else from that. And so I just encourage you guys just to immerse yourself in as much information as you can. Take what you can and leave the rest, and be honest when you're talking to people. Be honest when you're talking to yourself about these things. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.